Well, hey guys, how is everybody? I hope you're all doing well. I hope you all have enjoyed this series. It's kind of been fun shooting it. Today's the day. We're going to get the 28 on this, get a good ground chain. I'm not going to grind it to these specs because I'm going to say it doesn't really like the hickory, but I've made a lot of cuts with that chain. It's mainly the top plate is starting to kind of dull out, but the actual cutting corner of the chain's still pulling good, and it is the chain that was on it in the last video. It's ground on 30 degrees. I typically don't do that on a full chisel, but I will tell you it does cut a lot noticeably faster than, say, 20 to 25 degrees. I've even read around on the forums, some guys, and I do lurk on forums, but I don't really post. I've been there and done that in the car community, and lurking around on all the saw forums, it looks like, you know, it's kind of similar. You do have your certain group of assholes everywhere, and at this point in my life, I just don't deal with that very well. Why I shut my Facebook down. I've not been on Facebook in almost 2 years, and I opened an account and made one like as soon as it came up. When the whole MySpace deal went downhill and everybody went to Facebook. But anyway, I've seen some guys grind it like 27 degrees. Like I said in that grinding video, just play around with it. Let's see, I don't know if that thing will pick up the chain while the edge is still on it. I highly doubt it. And it sounds like the shepherd's gonna start barking. Maybe if I hold it still, I'll do that. But it's still cutting good. Time will tell. But if I was going to cut some wood that'd been down for a while, I probably wouldn't grab this chain. I don't think it'd hold its edge really long at all. But I'm gonna pause you guys. We might show a little bit of grinding, might not, I doubt it. I'll get the 28 and get the chain set up for it, and I'll give you a look at the chain before we put it on, and maybe pull you off the tripod and just give you a look at the chain on the saw. We'll figure something out, but I'll bring you guys back shortly. Alright guys, got the chain grounding on it. And I said it holds form a chain, which is what this is. And some of the cutters on it ground really good, and the others were kind of, I don't know, flaky, if it makes any sense to you. I've seen some chains do that. I've mentioned in that grinding video, some chains grind better than others. I don't know, I'm looking into getting one of the CBN or the carbon, I guess, wheels, carbide, whatever. Wheels to go on the damn thing, but I don't know, to my understanding you have to have the chain really clean, which I guess I could soak them in a bucket of gas or something beforehand. But we got a pretty good grind going on here. I went 60, 25, and 10. I think it'll be okay in the hickory. I usually don't throw much downward tilt to them at all. I usually grind a lot on 0, but we figured we'd set this one kind of closer to the manufacturer's specs of the chain. I think that's about the exact specs Archer says to grind. And Archer says it's Australian, but it's Chinese chain. Probably the same stuff as this. It looks really similar. Let's see. I mean, it ain't a bad looking cutter. You guys have seen my stuff cut. It cuts pretty good. It ain't the fastest thing in the world, but they do all right. So what we're gonna do is shut you guys off, and I've done fooled around here this morning and got the log set up. I actually cut it in two with that 038 or 380 kit saw. I think it's 72 cc's though, but ran this yesterday with that 20 on it, and at 038 this morning, and that is a very mild build on that. Really, mainly the only thing done was your normal cleanup port work. I didn't even move timing on it, didn't put a degree wheel on it. I cut the squish band, or sanded it enough just for the piston to clear. I got 180, 185 PSI, probably more than that now. I checked it right when I built the saw, but it's just on a whole different level with this, even with a 24 on it. I've got a little short of that I'm going to upload later, but anyway, what do you guys say we get back here and see what this thing does? Put it to the test. Alright guys, that thing's right at about 2 foot. It does get bigger as it goes back. We'll just have to see what happens here. It don't get much tougher on that cut. As you can see, it's solid. Tree'd been down for a while. It ain't completely cured out. I'm kind of glad it ain't. But it's going to be awesome to test these saws in. So yeah, let's say we get after it and see if we can make a cut on this thing. And again, this ain't real scientific. Always wear your safety equipment. Do not copy what I do. I do a lot of shit that's not safe at all, just for the safety police. You guys are right, 100%. Be safe, guys. Let's see how she cold starts. I've kind of got some cookies laid around, so if I screw up, and hopefully we don't get our chain in the dirt, we'll bring this one in just in case. I think we'll be okay. Hold start. 4th pull. It's pretty good. No slouch, but you can kind of see where it's giving up the torque, where it gets into the heartwood. And I'll tell you, that one little section, or 40 pounds, give you an idea of what we're cutting. Makes them want a nice tabletop, I would imagine. But I guess what we need to do is, when the log gets bigger now, is get set up and get that other saw and come back and see where we're at with it. Alright guys, if I said this saw was a complete dog, I'd be lying. I've ran stock 365s and stuff. Yeah, this thing runs quite some bit better than a stock one. We do have stockish compression. You're welcome to Google that or search it on the forums. Seems the consensus says a good healthy 372. I didn't really find nothing on the 365s. A good healthy 372 somewhere between, you know, 140, 45 to 155 psi. And I'm talking stock compression with the base gasket in it, no mods at all. You know, a saw with some time on it. I'm sure there's freaks out there that make more than that. We all know that. Like I said, this should settle in. I was getting like right at 140 on that gauge, and it does read low, so realistically she's 145 right now. And when it settles in, you know, it's going to be, it's right there with stock compression. We've got the added durations. I don't know about all of the grinding on the intake port and all the hogging on the transfers, but I may do it in another video. I don't really want to dig it all out here in this. It'd be off topic, but the 365 cylinder, the sleeve on it is so damn thick. The transfers are smaller than what's on the 372. There's a lot of meat there to grind. They kind of look bigger than they really are. They're just, you know, they're a shade bigger than what would be on a 372. Still bigger than what I would want to do, but I don't know. Guys, it don't get no harder than cutting hickory. As you can see, that's good sound wood. It's heavy as lead. It's a blow down tree. Probably right at 2 feet. We did, I think, stall it once. I don't think it stalled completely. I go back and watch the video, but it's a handle under 28 pretty good. But I've got that chain. It's not real grabby. That Oregon depth gauge that I use, it just kind of sets them back to factory spec. But actually these, some of them was a little lower than that. I think I'd fouled it a couple times with that 2-in-1. If we really wanted to be, you know, hard on the saw, I could get the Husky depth gauge out and set them down to the soft wood setting, and you know, that would really show its worth. But I guess I need to quit running my mouth. I know it was a Chad at Nothing But Chainsaws had said he'd never seen anyone hog transfers that much. I've seen it a lot. Said I've watched a lot of builders. I don't know if you follow John Riley. Look back at some of his older stuff. He cuts them so damn deep that he has to build up a layer of epoxy on the back side of the cylinder. You know, I think he dabbles more into the race saw scene, which may be what this would be. This cylinder and all the volume would be more intended toward, but you know, I don't know. It ain't no slouch. It ain't no 76cc big bore saw either, but it ain't no damn slouch for a 60. You have to remember that this is a 65cc saw. I'll get you guys paused. We'll get that other saw out. Make sure it's got fuel and oil in it, and we'll go from there. It could use a splash of fuel. I added a little bit of oil. I cannot find my small fuel jug with just, you know, pump gas, and I mix a little octane booster and a few other little things. But this is 110 octane leaded race gas. Some of you get a kick out of this. I don't know if I can show it without YouTube flagging the video. I'm gonna hold my finger over part of that, but this is the fuel additive I've been using. And believe it or not, YouTube frowns on anything showing one of those leaves. It's kind of crazy. I feel it should be legalized nationwide. They're working on it. It's not what you think, not what a lot of people think. It's mainly, I don't know, but I know YouTube don't like it. There's channels, you know, that's dedicated solely to weed growing, when they can't show half of what they do because of YouTube's policies. But hell, I thought all liberals loved weed anyway. I guess not. Is what it is. I'm about to harvest probably this weekend, or just give most of it away. I don't really smoke a lot anyway. I ain't even lying to nobody. I do use it medicinally. Even my doctor said, she said I'd rather, which I've not been to the doctor in forever, but try to avoid doctors. She said I'd rather see you smoke a little weed than take a handful of pain pills every day, which is where I was at years ago. Never want to go down that road again. Young and dumb and a lot of injuries over the years is all I can say. We've all done stupid shit, but I've done a lot of careless shit and ended me with a really, really screwed up neck and a back that ain't much better. No one wants to hear that garbage though. Everybody has their own issues. I'm alive and fairly healthy, and that's about all a man can ask for, really. And guys, we're going on an 8-pin on this saw. Should I change it? Let's just leave it on there. Give the other saw the benefit of the doubt. It's definitely a 7. This is definitely an 8. That's how I set it up. I knew it was going to be really torquey. I left it a fairly low exhaust roof. And I'm all over the place. I go from talking about saws to freaking weed. I'd shown a couple plants last year, a male and a little old female we grew here in the yard. I've got it's a 4x2 by 5 foot tall tent in the house. That thing is not wanting to go on that saw right for some damn reason. There we go. Yeah, that makes perfectly good sense. Got 2 pretty good sized, just homegrown plants. I don't know what they are, just seeds a friend had gave us, or our neighbor over on the creek last year. And then I've got some I call Girl Scout cookies from ILGM. Got one little plant. It was an auto flower. Those are a creepy little plant. They got a flowering after a month. Little plants are a challenge to grow, but one beautiful plant once you've got them grown. Now everybody's like, oh, he's a pothead. Well, whatever it is, what it is. Anybody that downs it ain't never smoked it. And I do, you know, some people do take it too far and lay around blazed out of their head all the time. I don't do that. If you know how to use it, it's really, really beneficial. Half of the videos I've made, I've been smoking in them. I've not had any today, but I feel good and don't have a need for anything. So like, oh, he's a dope head. Well, whatever. I'm honest about it. If you meet me in person, it's I'm me right here, what you're gonna see in these videos. I don't sugarcoat anything. Most of the people I've met, I've made friends with. I actually threatened to kill a guy on a car for him once, or well, not kill him, but he deserved a beating. And I actually showed up to the racetrack and called him out just over some nonsense. He got really, really personal, and it was local for him. Everybody raced at the same track. We were there about to run our cars. It was my brother-in-law at the time. He said, hey, I ain't gonna say his name, but right over there's that guy. He was there with his buddies. And I said, well, let's just go have a word with him. I went over and just pecked on his back, and he turned around, looked at me, and just turned red and started laughing. And we were good friends after that. I'm sure some of you other guys have some stories like that as well, but it's mainly just me saying I'm who I am. I ain't fake. I don't believe in bullshitting people or lying to people. It is what it is. That's why we've got this big hickory log. Does it look awesome for YouTube videos? No. I get comments all the time. Some guys like, next up, paint drying. but the video has a million views and tons of thumbs ups and comments that are positive. And I know the saw runs good. It's a 56cc saw and 2 feet of wood pulling a 24-inch bar. It is what it is. These assholes everywhere. I'm gonna quit running my mouth. This is all over the damn place. Let's say we get out back and put this one in a piece of wood, and I've not started it in weeks. I don't even know if it will run, but I'm confident enough in what I build just to take it on back there and put it in a piece of wood. Take note, this does have a blue coil on it. It does have an 8-tooth sprocket on it. But it has roughly 75 to 80 more pound of compression than that other saw. There's videos showing the port work. I lowered the bridge in front of the transfers, not even that far, just enough to improve the flow up out of the crankcase into the transfers a little bit better, and just kind of lay the texture on them. Timing numbers on this one, and I'll probably caption them in before. 103, 125, 80, and I think squish was around 25 thou on it. It's been a while, I don't really remember, but I left it kind of loose. Okay guys, we're about to tell the tale. Compression versus flow work. Oh, I think I hit the ground with that chain earlier. And I don't know that we'll be able to get cut all the way through here just because of the way the log's set and some of the things I have setting against it, but we'll see. It's kind of hard. It'll be really hard to do a timed cut here anyway, just because of the way things are set up, but you'll be able to get a general idea of what's going on with the two saws. And I'm gonna tell you, this saw just feels totally different. Guys, I don't know if I get in and look, but the inlet saw has an 8-tooth. The other has a 7-tooth. I was kind of feathering the throttle at the bottom of the log to keep from busting through and ruining that chain that I spent 25 minutes on grinding. So wasn't really trying to do time cuts anyway, but if you want to time it like halfway or 3/4 down a log or something, you're welcome to. But again, that other saw's no slouch. A lot of people will be really happy with the thing. You know, it is what it is. I don't know that I'll go back into it. We might just keep it as an experimental. Choking the blowdown up on it would help it a lot in the cut, I think. Again, it was 29 blowdown saw. This saw here was 22-degree blowdown. It may benefit a little bit choking it up on it, but it seems to pull awful damn hard for what it is. But a big helicopter coming by, a lot bigger than normal, probably big military chopper. Got a federal prison like probably a 1/4 mile as a crow flies from the house here. They tend to go over that way a lot. Anyway, this was fun. We'll know more about it when we get in the house on the editor, but that saw there is definitely stronger. Is it, you know, worth spending a big hunk of money on buying a lathe stronger? I don't know, it just all in what you want and if you want to try different things. But as always, thank you guys for watching. Y'all have a great day.